It's 8 a.m. on Monday, March 9th, 2026.
It's time to get Up Northwestern. Rock the vote. Illinois 9th congressional candidate Kat Abagazale partners with Local Mojo and Alianza to host a legal aid benefit concert.
And Dillo editions. We take a look at a new stage launching for Dillo 54.
Plus, too cold. NNN's very own Mila Brandson checked out curling in Chicago. This morning on Get Up Northwestern. Good morning, Northwestern. I'm Victoria Ryan.
And I'm Lance Wilhelm. Good to be with you on the start of a busy week 10 here on campus. We've got a lot planned for you this morning. But first, let's get to check on today's top headlines with NNN's Miguel Sang.
We're following a lot this morning, Lance. War continues to light up the skies of Iran and Lebanon following the killing of Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Israel's military said it launched a, quote, broad wave of strikes on Tehran targeting regime infrastructure, with additional strikes hitting the southern suburbs of Lebanon's capital, Beirut. The escalation in Lebanon following Hezbollah's decision to launch strikes in Israel in response to Khamenei's assassination. The UN's human rights chief called the situation, quote, extremely concerning, urging an immediate end to hostilities. 4 people are dead after powerful Friday morning storms leveled terrain and homes across southwest Michigan. Union City resident Lisa Piper watched the destruction unfold from her back deck, filming a now viral video as the funnel cloud formed and dropped towards the frozen lake. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer declared a state of emergency in the affected counties and activated the state's Emergency Operations Center Friday to coordinate an all-hands-on-deck response to severe weather. Today's Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie stops by the studio for the first time in over a month since her mother, Nancy Guthrie, was reported missing on February 1st. Guthrie's visit was not televised, and she has not appeared on the show since her mother disappeared. During her visit, Guthrie telling colleagues, "I wanted you to know I'm still standing, and I still have hope, and I'm still me." Her heartfelt return saw her reunite with Al Roker, Janet Bush Hager, Hoda Kotb, and the rest of the Today Show family. Investigators are still looking for leads in the suspected kidnapping, and the Guthrie family is currently offering up to $1 million to anybody who may have information. Also Thursday, the ousting of a cabinet member. In a potentially divisive move by the Trump administration, Kristi Noem was fired from her position as Homeland Security Director with an order to leave her post effective March 31st. Noem is the first cabinet secretary to leave the Trump administration in his second term. The former South Dakota governor is set to be replaced by Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin. Following her departure, Noem is set to lead the brand new position of Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas, a new Trump administration security initiative focused on the Western Hemisphere. And in entertainment news, will the cast of Sinners become winners? Just one of the questions that will be answered this upcoming Sunday at the 98th Academy Awards. Director Ryan Coogler's vampire flick led all films with a whopping 16 nominations, setting an all-time Oscar record. One of the most heated off-screen storylines to pay extra attention to this year has been the race for the Best Actor award. While Timothée Chalamet was poised to win after his aggressive campaigning for Marty Supreme, he was upset by Michael B. Jordan at the recent Actor Awards for the same category. Jordan received his first Oscar nomination for playing twin brothers in Sinners, while this is Chalamet's third nomination in the category. A win for either would mark their first Oscar. And that's what we're following today, Lance.
Thanks, Miguel. As folks are waking up this morning, they're heading to coffee shops and bakeries before work. NNN's Lilia Tekla is outside Mr. Cachito's Bakery and Coffee right now. That's on Sherman Avenue in downtown Evanston. They're talking to folks as they start their day. Lilia, how are people doing this morning?
Thank you. Good morning, Evanston. Right behind me is Mr. Cachito Bakery Coffee Inc., which is a family-owned cafe bringing a taste of Venezuela to downtown Evanston. They're known for their signature cachitos, which are a soft crescent-shaped pastry filled with ham and cheese, along with their specialty coffee and some homemade desserts. And yeah, that's made the spot a local fan favorite. And today I have with me owner Rolando Alvarado, who wakes up at 6 a.m. every day to make sure the shop is open and ready. So Rolando, tell me a little bit about what makes working here so special.
Hi, good morning first. So yeah, thank you for joining with us today. Thank you for the interview. So, well, this is Mr. Cachito. This is the Venezuelan place. In the beginning, the idea it was to place a cachito like it's a Venezuelan sandwich. We usually eat for breakfast, lunch, and even dinner. So, has been so amazing. Everybody here is so kindly, so friendly. they are so polite. Everybody walks just with that smile in her face. So, oh my God, has been amazing. And thank you so much, Evanston, for support. And come every day and try with the cachitos.
Sounds great. Thank you. Back to you, Victoria and Lance.
Thanks, Lilia.
All right, and for those of you not heading to the bakery this morning, you've probably seen the prices rising at the grocery store. NNN's Michaela Potter checked out this trend for us this morning.
Inflation and tariffs have caused many goods to increase in price. Which Evanston grocery store is doing a better job of keeping costs down?
Salmon, potatoes, and a side of broccoli are on the menu for tonight. South of Evanston, you'll find Jewel Osco, where pre-cut vegetables range from $4.99 to $5.99, with organic broccoli listing at $2.79. Compared to other Evanston grocery stores, Trader Joe's is offering broccoli crowns for $2.49, and Whole Foods Market lists the vegetable at $2.89. Whole Foods Market sells russet potatoes for $1.19 per pound, while Trader Joe's and Jewel Osco sell them for 99 cents per pound. Buying 5 1-pound potatoes costs about $6 at Whole Foods compared to about $5 at other stores. The largest difference in prices between the grocery store items are in protein, with salmon fillets ranging from $7.89 to $20.13. Depending on the grocery store, the total cost of this full meal before tax could vary from about $11.67 at Jewel Osco to around $16.47 at Trader Joe's and up to about $24.21 at Whole Foods Market.
These prices may vary by season or depend on sales at these grocery stores. Either way, bon appetit from us here at NNN. Michaela Potter, Northwestern News Network.
All right, Michaela, thanks for that report. Coming up, a local thrift store encourages customers to support women through shopping for good. Coming up.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cereijido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
Welcome back. On Friday, student groups Local Mojo and Alianza hosted a benefit concert, raising over $4,000 for immigrant justice efforts. NNN's Grace Wong visited the scene to find out more.
Local Mojo, Alianza, and congressional candidate Kat Abu-Ghazaleh hosted a legal aid benefit concert with student performances at Double Clutch Brewing Company. Abu-Ghazaleh is a candidate for representing Illinois' 9th Congressional District. If elected, she will be the first Gen Z woman in Congress.
And one of the issues of Congress is the lack of diversity, not just racially, ethnically, religiously, sexual orientation, gender, and also the lack of diversity in background. And you can't legislate effectively on ideas that are abstract. So are you going to legislate on issues that are issues or understand how much housing costs to own your mansion for 20 years?
Performers utilizing their talents for political change. Organizers say over $4,000 were raised and donated to the National Immigrant Justice Center.
Also align a lot with Kat's campaign, and I would say that this feels like something very tangible that we can do in order to show our support, so I really appreciate this opportunity.
Student bands like Inertia purposefully included songs that highlight political messages, such as Zombies by the Cranberries.
Music has always been political and will continue to be political. I think music is rooted in, self-expression. Music is rooted in standing up for what you believe in and showing who you truly are, and I think that is what makes it so deeply political.
The concert also part of a larger effort to get young voters to be more politically active. According to census data, less than 58% of Illinois residents aged 18 through 24 were registered to vote in 2024.
Students oftentimes may not feel as if they have too much of a connection to this area, but they live here 9 months out of the year. We pay rent here oftentimes, we work here. We have every right to vote here.
According to students, it is more important than ever for younger generations to participate in democracy.
Young people matter, in the vote more than anybody, because it's the future that we're going to live in when we're going to vote for the future that we're going to live in. And it's really important that young people get out to vote.
Gen Z getting active through politics and good music. Grace Wong, Northwestern News Network.
Interested in voting? Early voting is happening now until March 16th at Robert Crown Community Center, and the primary election is Tuesday, March 17th. NNN will be covering the primary on our social media channels.
March is Women's History Month, and across Evanston, there's lots of ways to celebrate and give back. Allison Miller joins us now because she checked out one this week. Good morning, Allison.
Yeah, good morning, Lance. Right now, there are customers at one Evanston storefront. They're shopping for good and supporting women along the way. Let's head down to the YWCA Shop for Good.
All right.
This isn't your ordinary thrift store.
Shop for Good is the name. It doesn't matter if you need or want something, you are literally doing a good thing by shopping here.
Here at Shop for Good, not only is every piece of clothing secondhand, but 100% of the profits go to help women in need.
All the programming that really goes towards building the community and really building women back up after this traumatic time. So I just love that we can support that.
YWCA Shop for Good is a part of the nonprofit YWCA Evanston North Shore. Proceeds from the storefronts in Evanston and Wilmette fund the YWCA's local safe emergency shelter for survivors of domestic violence.
It's not just a shelter for domestic violence. They advocate for people. They meet them at the state's attorney's office and help them fill out an order of protection.
Employees say that by working at the store, they earn more than just a paycheck.
It really fulfills my life, and I hope that it's really helping the mission. As a woman, it just makes me feel good that my life has transitioned to this place.
But they also say they're lucky to be able to keep the lights on.
With all the cuts that are going on, it's extra important now.
According to an Urban Institute research report, a third of nonprofits experienced a government funding disruption in the first half of 2025. Spolarich credits donations to keeping the cause alive.
It's a really important cause, and there's not many shelters, so they really do a lot.
And for customers
coming in, obviously I didn't know that we would get to, help the shelter, which is amazing. Yes. So it was nice. Look at her. It was nice to know that that's what this is for. We donated money.
The store is currently taking donations for spring and summer clothes. In Evanston, Allison Miller, Northwestern News Network.
Well, Allison, that was great. Such a creative way to help out the community during this month. And if people are interested in donating, how do they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So donation hours are Tuesday through Saturday, noon to 5 p.m. And you can bring in, they're looking for gently used clothes. And right now it's more of a looking forward to spring and summer. So any lighter clothes that you have, and yes, all 100% of the proceeds go towards the shelter.
Great, thank you.
Well, an awesome story. Now, the Winter Olympics might be over, but the winter sports season is still in full swing. Our Mila Brandson got to experience some of the Milan magic right here in Chicago by trying out a new sport.
Today I'm at the Chicago Curling Club to slide into a new hobby, curling.
So if you really want to get into it, you can meet the top of the level very quickly.
Matthew Sherry is an instructor at the Chicago Curling Club. Since starting the sport in 2011, he says curling has been an integral part of his life.
I met my wife here. My current job I found because another curler got me the job.
Sherry has competed against Olympic medalists. Now he's sharing his expertise with NNN.
Just lunge out with your left leg. For a normal fours game, that's, what you'll see in the Olympics is 4 men and versus 4 men, or 4 women versus 4 women. There's 8 rocks, so each player throws 2. The lead throws the first 2, second throws the second 2, vice throws the next 2, and the skip is the one calling the game at the other end and yelling at the other people to sweep or not sweep.
So to go on the ice, we had to put a couple different things on our feet. One of them were these grippy shoes. They go over our sneakers, and then we also had a slider, which we wore on our left foot, and then we could slide on the ice.
The goal is to get your team's rocks as close to the center of the target as possible. Rocks must be in the rings to count for a point.
So you might have heard of stones or rocks in curling. That's this. We turned it at either 2 or 10 o'clock while we were curling, and then gently turned it so that it could rotate as it slid across the ice.
The prevailing way that the rock curls is that it makes micro scratches in the ice, and so when you sweep it, it prevents that from happening.
And some Wildcats are curling too. The Northwestern Curling Club, a graduate student organization, rents ice time at the Chicago Curling Club about twice a month.
It's a fun break from graduate studies, and it's a good way to meet new friends, but also hang out with your friends and have a fun time.
Members of NU Curling can play at practices and compete in bonspiels, or curling tournaments.
There's always a chance for everyone to try each aspect of curling, whether it's learning to curl, teaching to curl, or competing.
Learning the sport came with its ups and some downs, but ended in a sweeping success. Mila Brandson, Northwestern News Network.
If you're interested in curling yourself, the Northwestern Curling Club is hosting their own Bonspiel, that's a curling tournament, on April 18th for both students and alumni. Students must attend at least one of their practices to participate.
That was hilarious, by the way. My heart goes out to Mila for taking the fall, literally, for this morning show. We appreciate you for doing that.
The things you do for news. Okay, after the break, with the closure of Pete's Coffee, find out where students are flocking to get their caffeine fix.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
One, two, three, four.
My relationship with Jonas is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city,
Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back. Now, they say the early bird gets the worm, and that is certainly true on this edition of the morning show. NNN's Sarah Rosner spoke to the president of the Evanston North Shore Bird Club to learn about this treasured pastime.
As spring begins, migrating birds start to make their way back north to Evanston.
So it's already really started the migration. I mean, we're starting to see nuthatches, both red-breasted and white-breasted. That's in my yard at least. We're starting to see chickadees come through. I just heard a red-winged blackbird. They don't migrate very far away. They're just in probably southern Indiana by now. So we're just starting to see the beginning of the migration.
If you want to start bird watching, Flanagan says now is a great time to do it. He uses an app called Merlin Bird ID, which helps users identify birds they see and hear.
You know, whenever I'm out monitoring at the beach and people always look, what are you looking for? What do you got? And I always tell them, you know, if you walk by here every day, you just turn on this app, Merlin app, and it identifies birds by its sound. But it's a great tool to start birding. It just gets casual people involved.
Flanagan says students can pick up the hobby any time of the year.
Get out there and bird. It's a, you know, everyone can do it. You know, you could do it with your family, you could do it with a partner, you could do it by yourself. And the more people that do it, you know, I find you find more birds.
As the weather warms up, we're sure to see and hear more birds around campus. Sarah Rosner, Northwestern News Network.
If you'd like to get involved with birding in Evanston, visit ensbc.org.
And in pop culture news this morning, Timothée Chalamet is struggling to pirouette himself out of controversy following comments he made at a CNN and Variety town hall event. The Oscar-nominated actor said, quote, "No one cares about ballet and opera when discussing the viability of both of those art forms." Chalamet, whose mother is trained in ballet, has faced criticism from the opera and ballet communities, including from the Metropolitan Opera, which posted a TikTok in response saying, quote, "This one's for you, Timothée Chalamet." SNL's Colin Jost also poked fun at Chalamet for snubbing ballet and opera while promoting his movie about ping pong.
And from the Opera House to the jailhouse, pop star Britney Spears was arrested last Wednesday night for allegedly driving under the influence. The singer was showing signs of impairment and failed a number of field sobriety tests. Spears has faced a number of legal issues since the end of her conservatorship, which spurred the Free Britney movement in 2021. A representative for the singer said the arrest was a, quote, "unfortunate incident that is completely inexcusable." She was arrested in Ventura County, California, and a court date is set for May 4th.
And we're not monkeying around with this one. That's pretty good. Punch the Monkey, the baby macaque, who has captured the hearts of millions around the world, including me, is seeing brighter days. Punch, who was abandoned by his mother and faced tense bullying from fellow monkeys, went viral on social media. The star was visited by Blackpink's Lisa, who shared pictures on social media and held a stuffed toy orangutan, a nod to the toy plushie keeping Punch comfort. But good news, he's reportedly relying on that stuffed toy a little bit less, a sign he's experiencing greater acceptance from the actual monkeys, certainly sending well wishes to Punch this morning as he navigates the crazy jungle life.
And since Pete's Coffee closed at the end of January, many Evanstonians and Northwestern students have been searching for a new spot to get their cup of joe. NNN's Shauna Polster took a look at some of the Evanston coffee shops that students may be overlooking.
Pete's Coffee, a fan favorite for many Evanstonians, closed its doors on January 30th, leaving many regulars looking for another place to start their day. However, a few more steps off campus has many alternatives Northwestern students and Evanston residents might want to try. One spot is Phil's Coffee, located on Davis Street.
So Phil's was started in California in the early 2000s, 2003, I believe, in the Bay Area. And it specialized in pour-over coffee. So we actually don't have espresso, so all our coffee is pour-over, fresh.
Phil's serves a variety of coffees, teas, baked goods, and breakfast items to customers hoping to chat, study, and most importantly, drink coffee. But it's not just the coffee that employees say makes Phil's special.
So you're gonna get that more personalized experience. We try to ask everyone to take a sip of their drink just to make sure it's how they want it. We have sugar, cream, milk in the back. If it's not to your liking, we can always remake it.
Patisserie Coralie, a French cafe located in downtown Evanston, opened its doors about 10 years ago. Patisserie Coralie creates a European atmosphere, complete with French pastries, coffee, and even high tea.
We try to keep things pretty genuine to Paris and France here. Our owner grew up in Paris, is a French man. His name's Pascal, and so he makes sure to keep it really genuine and makes sure the pastries are top tier and things like that.
Patisserie Coralie is becoming a new favorite for many Northwestern students.
Our clientele is mostly older Evanston residents. We do get a decent amount of Northwestern students, especially with Pete's closing.
Open from 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Dempster Street, Evanston Pour doubles as both a bar and a cafe where Evanstonians can begin or end their day.
We are putting out fresh specialty lattes and other classic coffee beverages, as well as specialty and classic cocktails and beer and wine offerings.
Pour is hoping to attract more Northwestern students as a place to relax, study, or have a drink with their friends.
As much as we hope to promote that classic coffee shop culture of welcoming students in and providing that workspace, we also want to be that space and center for rest, relaxation, and connection for students as well.
While they might have to trek a little bit farther, Evanston coffee lovers still have many options to ensure they have a beautiful start to their day. Shauna Polster, Northwestern News Network.
You can check out Phil's Coffee at 1030 Davis Street, Patisserie Coralie at 600 Davis Street, and Evanston Pour at 528 Dempster Street. Now, I know, Lance, you're not a big coffee drinker, but do you have a favorite place to go study in Evanston?
My room, I guess.
Okay.
Every now and then I frequent the library, but mostly my room.
Okay.
I think I have been to Phil's once.
Yeah, I like Phil's. I'm a Patisserie Coralie fan myself, but yeah, all great options.
Yeah.
And up next, join NNN for a talk about the classic novel Wuthering Heights and its new film adaptation.
These walls and windows hold me tight. The warm embrace we all call home. My neighbors watch over one another. This little street is a land of liberty of its own, where I always have a place to go. I'm free to call this place my own. We all deserve a place to call home.
That's an American dream.
One, two, three, four.
Which of the angles on the board are the one from the quiz on Friday? Jaden? Great, thank you.
Research shows more and more 12 to 15-year-olds have arteries similar to that of a 45-year-old. But it doesn't have to be that way. Don't let your children grow up too fast. Encourage them to act their age through regular exercise and healthy eating.
Dillo Day, a fan favorite here at NU, is just a few short months away. Mayfest Productions announcing recently that there will be a third stage for this year's festival held at Con Pavilion. It's called The Burrow. I spoke with organizers about the change. The highlight of the year for many students, now even bigger and better.
Dillo Day last year was really successful, and so I think we were kind of thinking, how can we innovate the festival, make it a better experience for the students, and how can we do that in a way that's sustainable and something that can grow for years to come.
A third stage is coming to the Lakeville this Dillo Day, the Burrow. Named after an armadillo's habitat, the stage is a partnership with the Northwestern Korean American Student Association, Chinese Student Association, the Middle Eastern North African Student Association, and WNUR Radio.
I think maybe in October, we were added to a group chat, my co-president Yana and I, so we met and they kind of proposed this idea to us first.
Student orgs having a direct say in who will perform.
I'm really excited about that. It's been a pretty smooth process so far, so I'm excited to see where it takes us and how we can expand in future years.
We really wanted to give them the spotlight, so like if they're bringing like an act that represents their community or like their mission, we wanted them to be able like to make that decision.
Expanding the festival is not without its costs. These student orgs are expected to pay the artist booking fees, the same setup as the FMO second stage.
That we had said, like, we're not changing the main stage budget, and then like how could we navigate and still have the festival as it is, but add this other thing.
Based off of the timeline in which it was like presented to us and like proposed to us, we didn't have the time to like ask certain institutions for like more money for this. So thankfully we've had the means to be able to kind of get the ball rolling for this new initiative.
Organizers hoping the stage unites students from all spaces around a shared love of music.
I think at Northwestern there's a lot of bubbles where like different organizations, different like groups of people will kind of only interact with each other, but I think Dillo Day is just like a great opportunity for the organizations to kind of transcend that level of just kind of like doing their own thing.
Capturing the Northwestern spirit of striving for more.
We like to call ourselves like the biggest student-run music festival, but that only continues if we keep innovating.
Now, they couldn't share any details about this year's artist lineup, but more information will be announced as we approach Dillo Day. Last Dillo Day, are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a little worried because it's a high-stakes thing for me. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to enjoy Dillo Day, especially on my last one.
That's true.
So it better be a good artist this year.
Yeah. I'm hoping.
Okay, moving on to a new segment we're calling Booked and Busy. Today we're taking a look at the past as we dive into a true classic, Wuthering Heights by Mila Brandson. And with the new film adaptation generating a lot of buzz in the book versus movie debate heating up, feels like the perfect time to revisit this deeply emotional story. Chelsea Robinson is here to do that for us.
Yeah, so quick recap, Wuthering Heights follows the intense and often destructive relationship between Catherine Earnshaw and Heathcliff. Set over the majority of both of their lives in the wild Yorkshire moors, the novel is a pioneer of the miscommunication trope. Despite clearly having a soft spot for one another, Catherine and Heathcliff spend years pushing and pulling in opposite directions as social expectations and reality keep them from what they truly want, to be together. With the new adaptation of Wuthering Heights hitting the screens on February 13th, audiences are leaning into the gothic aesthetic, dark interiors, stormy moods, and haunting visuals. Starring Jacob Elordi as Heathcliff and Margot Robbie as Catherine, the love in the story continues to be obsessive, messy, and unforgettable. To give me their take, I'm joined in studio by Yana Johnson, who both recently watched the new movie adaptation after first being a fan of the book. So Yana, let's start with first reactions. Do you feel like the film captured the emotional intensity of the original story?
Yeah, I mean, you said it best, Chelsea. It's a destructive tale. There's definitely an emotional intensity. There's definitely a lot that happens in the film's, I believe it's almost 3-hour runtime. It's a bit exhaustive, and it does capture some sort of intensity. Would I say it's what Mila Brandson originally intended? I can't say that.
This film literally had to bring these characters to life. How did they come across the film for you? Did you feel any shifts from the characteristics or dynamics of the original book?
Yeah, I mean, elephant in the room, Heathcliff is famously interpreted as a man of color, and Jacob Elordi is famously a white man from Australia. So I don't believe the characters were exactly as Emily Bronte intended. She grew up near one of England's biggest slave ports. Her family was very abolitionist, and to see kind of the main character of her story turned into a white man, I don't think captures what she intended. But I think Emerald Fennell did the best that she possibly could have.
Yeah, I didn't notice he was a white man from Australia. That's
You
really
didn't.
interesting to know. But adaptations are typically difficult in that way, but I'm happy that you enjoyed it, possibly.
It was a time at the movies.
It definitely was a time to be had. Thank you, guys. Yeah, so joining me today, if you love gothic drama and messy, complicated characters, Wuthering Heights has always been a staple. Whether on the page or in the theater, this is a story that you don't want to miss. Back to you, anchors.
All right, thank you very much, Chelsea. And moving on, coming up next to a fan favorite segment returning from last year, I defend my title as reigning ballet champion with Victoria. Coming up.
My relationship with Jonas is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Coming up this half hour on Get Up Northwestern, daylight savings time, heart attacks surge. We speak with the doctor about why.
And political commentator Hassan Piker comes to campus, a look behind the scenes at how this event was put together.
Plus, I quiz Victoria on our campus history. How well does she know NU? Political commentator Hassan Piker came to Northwestern on Saturday, and the event gained some major attention on campus. Northwestern political union leaders say the appearance is part of their effort to bring diverse political voices to campus. NNN's Jordan Jones has the story.
With millions of followers, political commentator Hassan Piker is one of the most influential progressive voices in digital media. Northwestern Political Union invited him to campus for a conversation about politics, media, and activism.
Co-president of Northwestern Political Union, Mark Quintanar, says the event is designed to spark discussions among Northwestern students with different political perspectives.
I think really we just try to bring in popular but unique perspectives. Like last year we had Jill Stein, who's obviously outside of the two-party system. This time Hassan also, I think, does not really fit into the stereotypical Democratic or Republican mold.
Event organizer Ethan Pericottle said hosting large speaker events requires months of planning, from coordinating logistics to working with the speaker's team.
It was really a team effort.
Pericottle added that Hassan's team was open and excited to work with their team.
They were really open to what we proposed. Initially, I think we were inquiring like what format of event he wanted to do, whether he wanted to just do a speech or Q&A, or even like a debate with some other political figure. And he was leaning more towards like a speech and Q&A. And he actually indicated through his team that he actually prefers to do more Q&A and audience interaction than a speech, which I think is really fun for everyone coming out because it's less of them just sitting through a lecture.
For students, a chance to see someone they've been watching online in person.
I feel like I've been watching Hassan for like a lot of years. Like I have this shirt that he dropped like 6 years ago or something.
Bringing politics up close and personal. Jordan Jones, Northwestern News Network.
You can follow NU Political Union on Instagram for more updates on future events.
Early Sunday morning, we sprung forward into daylight savings time. We'll now enjoy more sunlight throughout the day, but it's not all good news. NNN's Zoe Singer took a look at some fatal risks that can come with the time shift.
On Sunday morning at 2 a.m., clocks jumped an hour ahead. While many complain about losing sleep during spring forward, a small but increased percentage of people tend to suffer from heart attacks that day due to the shift in timing.
The risks are very small, but when you have 350 million people doing it on the same day, a small risk pops out. So you can think of it more like, instead of a deterministic kind of thing, it's more of a lottery ticket. Someone's going to win. And unfortunately, winning means getting a heart attack.
The circadian system acts as an internal clock. When that clock's predicted schedule is disrupted, the consequences can be fatal.
One of the things that the circadian system does is that it anticipates your behavior. You're going to wake up at this time, let me help you get ready to wake up. And so basically, when you get up, you're putting a strain on your cardiovascular system. You're putting a strain on your heart that it's not ready for because of that hour shift. And so that's why it's a risk.
Though studies generally find that thousands of people report suffering from heart attacks the day of daylight savings, the overall percentage is small.
Anyone who already has a pre-existing problem with their heart, with their cardiovascular system, with blood pressure regulation, any of that, they're going to be at increased risk.
Zoe Singer, Northwestern News Network.
Now, for students with irregular sleep schedules, any disruption in your sleep pattern can increase health risks. So even though daylight savings has passed, consistent sleep can increase heart health.
Okay, this is something I'm very excited for because we haven't done it at NNN yet, but I thought it would be fun. I'm a fan of trivia, and I'm graduating here very soon, so I thought it would be good to do a Northwestern trivia segment. Unfortunately, my co-anchor, Victoria, is also a big fan of trivia, and in fact, we actually won trivia a couple nights ago at Prairie Moon, not to brag or anything, but it was the whole NNN team. And I should say, I know she's very good, and she knew some of the basic facts about Northwestern, so I tried to make these very, very hard. So are you ready?
I'm scared, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
We're going to. Okay. First question. Several U.S. presidents have Northwestern connections. Teddy Roosevelt once gave a speech on a platform right next to University Hall. In fact, there's a little plaque for him out there. Barack Obama gave an economic address here in 2014. Even JFK received naval training here on NU's Chicago campus. But which of the following presidents has not visited the Northwestern Evanston campus? So just talking about the Evanston campus. Is it A, Jimmy Carter, B, William McKinley, C, Gerald Ford, or D, Ronald Reagan?
Wow, okay. So I know Reagan has Illinois connections.
And I should say, it doesn't mean necessarily as president.
Okay. Reagan has Illinois connections, born in Illinois. Gerald Ford is from Michigan, so I feel like those two geographically, not visited. I'm going to go A, Jimmy Carter.
A, Jimmy Carter. Okay, good guess. However, the answer is B, William McKinley. I threw that in because I thought, you would think it's not William McKinley. But anyway, Carter first came to campus at Willard Hall for a campaign event in 1976, my former dorm. Ronald Reagan and Ford both visited before their time in the White House. Ronald Reagan for a drama festival in 1930, and Ford when he played against Northwestern as a member of the Michigan Wolverines football team.
You're right.
So, I thought, like I said, the key thing before being president. Okay.
Yep.
Question 2. John Evans is the namesake of Evanston and founder of Northwestern. But from 1862 to 1864, he was governor of which U.S. territory before it became a state? Is it A, Colorado, B, Illinois, C, Indiana, or D, Missouri? This is a tough one.
I think, because our assistant news director, Mila, interned in Evansville this summer in Indiana. So I think I'm going to go Indiana.
Good guess. Not correct, though, but that's hard. That's a tough one. The answer is actually what you would think is the least likely one, Colorado.
Wow.
He was appointed by Lincoln, and Evans was governor of the territory from 1862 to 64 when, notably, he was forced to resign because of the Sand Creek Massacre, which occurred in Colorado under his watch.
Yes.
All right, question number 3. Last chance here. This is a good one, too. Northwestern is not an Ivy League school. However, in 1982, the Ivy League considered expanding to a 10-school league. Northwestern, according to a report from the New York Times at the time, was one of the top 3 contenders. What were the other 2 schools that were considered as frontrunners to join the Ivy League at the time? Is it A, Duke and Vanderbilt, B, Georgetown and Duke, C, Berkeley and Stanford, or D, Army and Navy?
Wow.
Do you know this?
No, I did not
Yeah.
know this. I knew that they were considering expanding the Ivy League, but I didn't know that there were 3 schools involved with that. This is hard. This is really hard. My gut instinct is telling me it's B, Georgetown and Duke.
That is a really good guess, and quite frankly, I would have guessed that too. But I'm sorry, it looks like
Whoa,
you're going over 3.
whoa.
I know, it's Army and
Wow,
Navy. You
wow.
wouldn't think. The answer is D. And
0 for
though they weren't front runners, there were some other schools that were thrown in the mix. According to the report, Holy Cross, Colgate, and William & Mary were also just brought up as potential Ivy League contenders. But what do you think? Did you learn something new?
Yes, yeah, you did a good job. The questions were hard. Yeah, no, that was really good.
Well, glad
Really
you
good.
enjoyed. All right, after the break, college Democrats and Republicans talk immigration, foreign policy, and more during their annual debate.
My relationship with Jonas is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Ready, set, Nano!
And we are back on the air. Bridge NU held their annual Democrats versus Republicans debate last week, attracting many students. NNN's Raksha J. Kumar was there and spoke to debate participants about their stances.
MAGA, NATO, and ICE. Those are just some of the topics covered in Bridge NU's debate last Tuesday between the college Democrats and college Republicans. Dozens of people filled Harris Hall to see how these topics would be addressed.
I think it's important to normalize disagreement and to be able to hear opinions very different from yours and not find it like scary or threatening, but genuinely be able to learn from it and see that there are reasonable people on every side.
The third debate of the night posed the question, to what extent should ICE be limited in its operations? College Republicans debater Jalen Jin said his argument focused more on the economic aspects of the issue, while his opponent, Hiram Flores, focused more on guilt tripping. I spoke with Jin about his opponent's response to his points on wage suppression, job displacement, and housing costs.
Didn't address any of that. Kept, talking about, oh, X person got arrested. X person was a mother. So yeah, not a very satisfying argument.
It's a matter of opinion. I think that everybody has, different perspectives on immigration, but if we're talking about the way that we communicated to the audience and the points that they brought up on us, I think that my communication style resonated with people a little bit more.
Flores rebutted that GDP would be hurt by deporting every undocumented immigrant, arguing that ICE should be abolished and replaced with a restructured system. He cited a PBS poll that found 65% of voters believe ICE operations have gone too far. Overall, the debate ended with audience laughter and applause for both parties. Raksha J. Kumar, Northwestern News Network.
Bridge NU encourages students to keep attending their events to bridge the gap and hear other viewpoints.
Okay, now a return of a fan favorite segment. Victoria and I face off on with ballet with Mila Brandson. Take a look.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Wirtz Ballroom, our dance studio for today. I'm Mila Brandson, and today I'm going to be teaching our Get Up Northwestern anchors, Lance Wilhelm and Victoria Ryan, how to dance. So, how are you guys feeling today?
Feeling good. Feeling excited.
I will want to point out that technically I am the reigning champion. However,
I did do dance for 16 years, so we'll see how this goes.
And my dance experience is sort of limited to just beating Logan last year.
Yeah.
So we can roll that footage.
There you go.
You can see that maybe it's not equivalent to 16 years of dancing. But,
Hey, we'll see.
Time will tell.
We'll see. That's what today's about.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how you guys fare today. It's going to be a great challenge. Let's get right into it.
Got a dance move? Yeah. Oh, what's it called?
The Lance.
The Lance can dance.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, jumping jacks.
I will say, I felt a lot more confident doing this against Logan last year. Because I was like, I won't be the worst, giving no offense to Logan.
Do we want to try splits?
Let's do it. I'm not flexible. I'm so not flexible. Oh, I still kind of got it. Yeah, I can't. This is my good side. This is my good side.
I think this is as far as we get. I think this is as far as we get. I see the laughter behind the kid. Yeah, I'll say it.
Learning a little ballet combination.
Yay!
Starting B plus. Breathe to prepare. Tombe.
Hardware is back, side, front.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you tombe, and then you squeeze this leg back, side, front.
Okay.
And glissade, we're just gonna glissade. Yep. And then into our pas de seul. Yes. Susu. Your leg is pressing into each other so that you can stay balanced. Your back leg is gonna cross front and then go back. Susu, plie, pop. Susu, plie, go back. Yes. Make sure we have a diamond with our legs. If I'm turned in, no diamonds. You want a diamond.
Okay.
Ore. And then you're going to take your back leg forward. You go plie, up.
Yeah.
So that's what we call a preparation for a turn. Find your eyes in the mirror, and you're going to whip your head around. It's the last thing to leave. That's how dancers turn and don't get dizzy. And go back to forth. So
Right.
ready?
Nice, easy peasy.
You got it. Ready? Let's go. Plie, pirouette, land. That was it, guys. Honestly, that wasn't bad. All right.
Not bad. Did you hear that?
Shift back to soutenu. Our final thing for this one is we're just gonna pique arabesque and then run away.
Wait. What is
Okay, we pirouette, we land. Shift back to soutenu. And then pique, run away. That's the end of our phrase that we're learning. We'll put it together with the music.
do have another challenge.
Okay.
So this phrase, you can do it individually, like we just did, but you can also do it with a partner. So we're gonna try some ballet partnering.
So now we're gonna add in the pirouette. So it's like turn, catch.
Hold, turn, catch.
Yes. Yeah, yes. Okay, ready? So we go forward, pirouette.
I'm like behind her,
One more time, just to like get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go forward, pirouette spot. Yes. And then this is where it changes a little. You know how we did Sutuyu Pike? So we're gonna try a fish lift. So I do the Sutuyu.
Okay.
And then I go Arax.
Okay, and I'm just gonna pick you up first.
Yes.
Okay. Like
Yes.
that?
Yeah. And then
I go like
you
this.
lean. And then this like bends. Oh, sorry. Yeah. And then wait.
I'm sorry.
Did that feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. Okay. HR will get that clip. I think we got it. Okay. Let's see. That was so good!
Nice, okay.
Thank you guys so much for coming to the studio and dancing with me today. I think you did a great job. How did you feel?
Thank you. Yeah, no, I felt good. Victoria, very experienced in ballet. Me, not so much, but I tried my best. And Mila sort of saved me a little bit because she made the collaboration instead of competition made me look a little bit better than I am.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it went well. I've never done anything like that before, like partnering, so it was cool to have that challenge and to learn it. So yeah.
And the holding made it so I didn't have to do the scary jumps as much.
I jumped high.
Yeah.
So much.
Yes, you guys did an amazing job, and I really hope to see you guys again in the dance studio sometime soon.
Never know.
Alright. But for now, back to you guys at the desk.
All right. Well, I should note, no Victorias or Milas were harmed in the making of this. And quite frankly, I was a little worried about that when all the lifting stuff started to happen. I thought I might accidentally drop someone, but that didn't happen. Didn't happen.
Yeah, no, I made it to the anchor desk today. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. Everyone survived. Didn't have to replace you.
Yeah, true, true.
All good news. Okay, we'll be right back in a bit.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cereijido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
All right, that's all the time we have for this morning. For our last show of the quarter, very sad, but thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lance Wilhelm.
And I'm Victoria Ryan. Have a great day, good luck on finals, and see you all next quarter.